Goodness me, that is a lot more than I thought.
I'm going to cry now.
You know, a lot of people consider these sort of things aren't very lucky. The stones themselves are from Australia, and they are, of course, opal beads with a matching pendant and a pair of beads for the studs. Why do people not think that they're very lucky? Well, because they've got this habit of drying out and cracking. They fall apart. If they've got cracks in them, unfortunately, it brings the value right down.
Right.
These, though, I'm pleased to say, are in extremely good condition, and although they're quite milky, there are no hairline cracks. You've got this sort of lovely high polish, and then you've got this depth of colour here, where you've got tinges of blue and green and red on a milky background. Were they given to you, or did you buy them?
No, they were given to me by my grandmother when I was about 15, and she said, oh, I could have these if I had my ears pierced. I didn't have ears pierced at the time. So ever since then I've worn pierced earrings, and I've worn those a couple of times, but otherwise I keep them in the bank.
I mean, I've mentioned that they are nicely matched beads. They're not the very best colour. I think that they were probably made in around about 1925, and this was the time when all bead necklaces were most popular.
Yeah.
It's on a lovely little panel clasp, lovely diamonds there. There's a centre stone there. This is the largest stone in a lattice work frame of smaller diamonds. Now, they're with a pair of matching studs for the ears, and all these are drilled beads that have had a diamond stuck in the end. The Australian, that's the big mines. Coober Pedy is the mine that these are found in. They're dug out in intense heat, in conditions which are absolutely appalling.
Underground, aren't they?
Underground, that's right. In fact, all the people who dig these things out live beneath the ground in sort of cells. It's an extraordinary existence just to find these wonderful things.
Right.
You've also got an opal pendant, and I'm interested in this one because, as you can see, it's an utterly different stone.
Much more fire in that one.
Much more fire, much more of this so-called pin fire, where you've got all sorts of flecks. Predominantly, you've got this sort of fiery colour, but you've also got red and green too.
Yeah.
So actually, if that opal happened to be the same as in these, this would be a very, very valuable necklace. But I think actually that this is the best quality stone, and it's in a surround of rubies, and the frame of the pendant was made in around about 1900, 1910 possibly. So down to values, well, I would think for insurance around about £7,500. You've got the opal beads for the ears too.
Right.
These for insurance purposes probably about £500, £600. They'd sell at auction for perhaps 200, 250. And then the opal pendant, well, little flat, but it is the best colour. And that pendant probably at auction around £800 to £1,000, and insure that one for £2,500.
It's been in the family a long time. I inherited it from my mother, and I believe she inherited it from her mother. And I've always had this feeling that it was probably worth something. Some years ago, my dad, before he died, had it valued and gave me a figure sort of between 2,000 and 3,000.
Okay.
And seeing this was on today, I thought, well, let's go and have a second opinion, because that was only done photographically.
Well, that's what we're here for, of course.
Indeed.
To advise you, hopefully. It is in slightly scruffy condition. You clearly haven't spent any money on it.
Absolutely. It stood in a corner on my landing for that time.
Right. When did you last have it going?
Probably about 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay. Do you know what we refer to this sort of clock as?
I called it a grandmother clock. You probably have a more technical
Well,
term
I would
for
call it a miniature long case, and in this instance, it's a miniature long case regulator.
Okay.
Because it's not a striking clock. Give me a sort of date. Any thoughts?
Well, it was in our living room when I was a child.
Right.
So that was in the sort of late 40s.
Right.
So mother must have had that. I think she inherited it from her mother. She was born in 1913. So I would have thought it was late 19th century, to guess.
Okay. Well, I'm delighted to tell you it's very significantly earlier than that.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually about 1760 to 70.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know I had such an antique there.
Now, again, when it arrived this morning and it wasn't in the sunlight, it looked very austere. But I just want you to look at this dial. There we go. Had you noticed the maker's signature here?
Yeah, I couldn't have told. That's along there.
Yes.
I couldn't have told you what it was, but yes, I remember seeing it.
Okay.
I've seen it there.
Well, it's a magic name, John Shelton, London.
Okay.
Who is a maker of fantastic early regulators, really very special indeed.
Right.
He was a freeman of the Clockmakers' Company in 1720 and then a liveryman by the mid-1760s. Now, us clockies, we like things that are small, and this is a 7-inch dial,
Yes.
and the whole thing can't be more than 5.5 foot tall.
Right.
So it really is a true miniature regulator. You've probably noticed that it's a slightly unusual method of telling the time.
Indeed, and that always fascinated me as a child.
Instead of the hours, you've got this sector here. So
Yep.
if I was to move the minute hand up, you will see
Yes.
there the hours going round to 2 and beyond.
Indeed.
This is just so there's no clutter and you can read the minutes to precision.
Right.
Tell me again what you were quoted
I think the figure was somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000.
and how long ago roughly?
That was probably about 20 years.
Right. Well, I've waxed lyrical about it because I love it. And I hope I'm going to surprise you. When it's up and running and in beautiful condition and the pendulum rod replaced and everything, it's going to be between 50 and 60,000 pounds.
Seriously?
Seriously.
My, oh my.
It is absolutely wonderful. It's the best long case clock I've seen on this programme ever. It's a cracker.
Yeah. I've seen people gasp on this show before on television, but I never thought I'd be in the position of gasping at that level.
It's exceptional.
Goodness me.
People often ask me, what do I look for in jewellery? Of course, it's craftsmanship and it's good design. But sometimes a jewel will give me that immediate head rush of excitement. And that's what these jewels have done to me. And the fact that they have come in very well-known red boxes, the impact that this brooch and these earrings have together, I think is just absolutely gorgeous. So how did you acquire these fabulous jewels?
Well, my mother died last year and she left them to me. I'd seen her wear them, but I didn't really know what they were. And then when I got them home and I realised what they were because of the boxes.
The red box with the Cartier signature inside, and of course they are Cartier jewels. And they are both signed on the back.
Oh, they are?
Yes, they are. I've had a good look. She obviously, clearly loved her jewellery.
She did. My father used to buy her jewellery a lot. And in fact, bought all the girls in the family jewellery quite a lot, so that was lovely.
Really? But of this kind of calibre?
Well, no, not all like that.
And when did he buy them?
I think it was the 70s.
And how did she wear them?
She used to wear them on a suit usually. My father had race horses and they used to go racing a lot, and she'd often wear them on her lapel on her suit or something like that.
You say they were bought in the 70s, whereas in fact, they are 40s jewels.
Oh, are they?
In the 40s, because of the austerity years, obviously with the war, you couldn't get the diamonds and the rubies and emeralds and sapphires. And so other stones took over. With these, it's citrines, amethysts, topaz, aquamarines, and they really dominated the jewellery of this period. When I turned these over, these have been altered. They didn't start off as pierced, which they are now. They're now for pierced ears.
Yes.
And you can see here the ring around it, and that is indicating to me that there would have been a clip that would have fitted in there exactly.
Yeah.
It's Cartier London, and they're in 18-karat gold. These citrines came in a variety of colours, as you can see, this great sort of lovely graduation of these very rich golden brown colours. The earrings, because they've been altered, you'd be looking in a region of about £10,000.
Lord.
Even though they're altered. And then this brooch, which I would run away. I would run away with. I just think it's spectacular. I love it. I love the colours. I mean, at auction, I could see there would be a little bit of a fight over this. And I would say you're probably looking in the region of around about £30,000.
Goodness me. That is a lot more than I thought. Really is.
They're very special jewels.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Well,
Now, does it belong to you? Does it belong to you? What's the story
It
behind
belongs to me. I was given it by my granny for my 18th birthday, which was in December. And it's family heirloom, so it was my great aunt's. And it was given to my granny in the 1950s, 40s or 50s.
1950s. Did she
Yeah.
wear it?
She's worn it a few times, I think.
A couple of times,
Yeah.
not very much. Yeah.
So you're given this necklace not that long ago. What did you think when you were given it?
I actually started crying.
Did you? Why?
40 minutes on and off.
Because you thought it was...
I was just so shocked. I didn't expect to get something that special, and
Because you recognise it as being something a bit special.
yeah, definitely.
And, all right, have you worn it? Because it's very wearable, isn't it?
I've got a leavers ball for my school
Yes.
in July, and I'm going to wear it then.
Good. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You're going to have a dress for the occasion as well?
My mum's making it for me.
Really? What colour?
It's dove grey.
Dove grey.
grey.
So the colour of the dress is going to blend in with the colour of the stones in
fine.
the necklace. I ought to say, first of all, it's a necklace. Well, you know that. It's a necklace. Before I come on to the stones themselves, let's look at the main thing about this, which is the name Liberty. Liberty are so important in the world of jewellery, particularly jewellery that was made when this was made, which is around about the turn of the century. So this is actually made in about 1905. These blue stones, they look like turquoise and they look like stones, but they're not. They're actually little blobs of blue glass that have been set on gold, and suspended at the bottom you have little blister pearls. Blister pearls means misshapen white pearls, natural pearls. And then these graduated stones in the middle, and you may or may not know this, are called moonstones. And you have to understand that nowadays jewellery like this is actually quite highly sought. So the fact that it's been a family piece that's come through to you now, I think your legacy is a really rather wonderful thing, because it does have quite a good value. When you wear it for your ball with your dove grey dress, you need to consider the fact that round your neck you're wearing £3,000 of necklace.
Okay. Right. Better be careful then.
You must be careful of it.
Yeah.
If you really want to know what everybody loves, Liberty,
Yeah.
a beautiful fringe necklace in absolutely impeccable condition, in its original case, with the name Liberty in the lid, you've been left something quite dynamic.
Okay.
You enjoy it, won't you?
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Thank you
so
very much.
Pleasure. Glad to have
Thank
helped.
you.
I'm so lucky to see some beautiful jewellery, and diamonds never fail to impress me. And these are pretty impressive.
They have a lot of memories for me. My grandmother, who was born in 1900, she died about 30 years ago. And she cared how she looked, but it was always about her jewelry. Her jewelry and furs were everything to her. And her horses.
Oh, and her horses?
Horses, yes. She had my grandfather and her, they met in Philadelphia on horseback when they were 14 years old. And they were both born in 1900.
And that was a time when actually platinum came into its own then. Jewellery hadn't been made with platinum before, it was silver before then.
Right.
But that era, these pieces really evoke that era. The piercing here that you can see, the tiny details that are in the jewellery here in the rings, is so indicative of this period. So when did you acquire these?
Well, about a year ago. My dad he'll be 89 in March, and he called my sister and myself and said, can you come to see me? Just you, without your husbands or partners. So we had a day with Dad where he said we were old enough to have the family jewelry. We were 54 and 55. I didn't know why it takes so long. What about my wedding? You know, but it was lovely. We spent the whole day, and there was lots of jewelry.
What's interesting, these were all made in America. because they've all got 14 carat, in fact, is inscribed on this bangle.
Right.
And these two are platinum.
Right.
And they've both been made by the same person because there's inscribed JKD, which is the initials of the maker.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know who the maker is, but it's inscribed JKD. This is a diamond that was cut in about 1910, that sort of period.
Right.
We call it a circular cut diamond or a transitional cut diamond before it became the modern brilliant cut that we know today.
Right.
And this is about 1.5 carats. And then this one here, we have, it is again, same style, same period, same maker. But this has the 3-stone diamonds with the little triangles of sapphires in between, as well as you've got diamonds set onto the side too. So there was a huge attention to detail for the craftsman. But what I love actually with 3 is this bangle.
This was her favorite piece.
Was it?
Out of all her jewelry, she loved this piece.
What I like is that these diamonds, which again are the same period, but I think they might have come from another piece of jewelry because they're all slightly different in sizes.
Yes, I wondered that.
They're not all uniformed.
Right.
But it is this repoussé work, which is an ancient technique going back to 1500 BC. You would push the metal away and out, and you would have it on the back side, exactly, because this is hollow.
Right.
The gold lining has gone inside, so you've got another layer of gold to give it strength.
Wow, because it's quite light. It's
exactly.
Quite light. Yes.
Values of these?
I have no idea. Never been valued.
You would be looking at, with the bangle here, something between £5,000 to £7,000. And then we have here the 3-stone ring with the sapphire triangles, and we would be looking at about £4,000.
Wow, okay.
And then we have this one here, and we would be looking at about £5,000. So collectively, you're looking at about £15,000.
Wow. Go, Grandma. She had beautiful taste.
Go, Grandma. Exactly.
Yeah, she had good taste.
I think these are a better bet than the horses.
Yeah.
Stick with these.
I think I will.
Sunlight and gold. Look at it. It has to be gold.
Beautiful.
Looking like that, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. What a wonderful, wonderful object. And it's a gold box, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the gold box is secondary to its real function.
Definitely.
But let's look at the box bit first, because that's really the key, literally the key, to what we're going to see next. Because inside we see a key. But it is a box, and inside we can see the name of the supplier. And he's J.M. Badoulet and Sons of Geneva. And that's sometimes a clue to people who know about these things, that this is going to be an automaton. And you know it is, don't you?
Yes, I do.
But let's look at the outside for a second. This is blue enamel on gold, and there are diamonds. These are lilies of the valley, each set with rose diamonds, and they're returning the light in the most wonderful way in the sun here. This is made for an exotic clientele. This is the sort of thing that Maharajas and Sultans and Chinese emperors wanted to own. And it was made in Geneva, 1820. And they made a speciality of making export wear of toys. And this is a toy for a grown-up. And have you enjoyed playing with it?
I've only actually seen it work 4 times now, because I'm too scared to actually wind it up.
And I wound it up earlier, and I think and pray and hope that it's going to work for all of us. It's rather exciting moment. Shall we give it a go?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Here we go. Oh, look at...
Perfect.
Isn't he marvellous? And he's
Wonderful.
made of hummingbird's feathers.
Oh, really? I
And his
didn't know
beak is
that.
of ivory, and he's got little ruby eyes, I think. And it's a miracle of craftsmanship and clockmaking skill, really. Inside, there are little bellows and pipes.
Right.
And the leather has to be so subtle and so pliable that they're made of chicken skin, not of leather itself, but chicken skin bellows.
Wow.
It's a massively complicated piece of machinery, and it's an evolution of mechanism that's awe-inspiring, isn't it?
It's amazing that it's like lasted, really.
And it's a childlike joy for everybody. I think everybody enjoyed that, really. It takes us back to something
Fantastic.
in our dim and distant past that is highly evocative and magical in every sense of the word, and who wouldn't want it?
Well, I can tell you that the whole world wants it, and they want it really, really badly.
Really?
And consequently, it's an extraordinarily valuable object, dizzily valuable, and I can tell you with every confidence that it's worth £35,000.
Wow. It's amazing. Beautiful. I'm not going to say I'm not going to sell it, because we probably will, but...
It'll break your heart, won't it?
Well, I'm too scared to own it, really.
You owned
Goodness.
it for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah.
How long?
Well, my aunt died, 9 years ago, and she had it since 1966. She left it to my mother, so it goes down to me. It's mine now. And it is beautiful. I don't know what to do with it now, but wow.
Shall we make him do it again?
Yes, please.
And then you must try and tell me what it really feels like when you hear the birds singing.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's magical to see it. It really is, you know. So I'm going to cry now. Oh, goodness me.
I think I am.
Right. Absolutely beautiful.
Brilliant.